Hello everybody. This year TryHackMe again created their own advent calendar for this year's holiday season. It is once again aimed at beginners, but I get... Hello everybody. This year TryHackMe again created their own advent calendar for this year's holiday season. It is once again aimed at beginners, but I guess everyone can learn a few things from it here and there. So without further ado, my name is Avocari, and it's time to get festive and crack open the 6th window of the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2022. It's beginning to look a lot like phishing. So from the title already I can guess with email analysis and phishing we're gonna take a look at some phishing email. AlphaMacBlue found an email activity while analyzing the log files. It looks like everything started with an email. That's not good. So I already started up the machine on the right hand side here, which we're gonna work on. What are our learning objectives? We're gonna learn what email analysis is and why it still matters. We're going to learn the email header section. We're going to learn the essential questions to ask in email analysis. We're going to learn how to use the email header section to evaluate an email. We're going to learn additional tools in order to discover attachments and conduct analysis. And then we're also going to help the ELF team to investigate the suspicious email received. Okay, so let's start again with some theory. First of all, what is email analysis? Email analysis is the process of extracting the email header information to expose the email file details. The email header contains technical details like the sender, the recipient, the path, the return address, and attachments. And generally speaking, these details are more than enough to determine if an email is suspicious or not, and whether you should take further actions like quarantining the email or delivering it. So this process can be done manually, but most organizations do it with the help of tools. There are two concerns. First of all, security issues. So you could identify suspicious, abnormal, or malicious patterns in emails, and performance issues where you identify the delivery and delay issues in emails. So for this task, we focus on the security concerns, so phishing. There are two terms, social engineering and phishing. Social engineering we already talked a little bit about in an earlier video. But once again, this is the manipulation of people into performing or divulging information by exploiting weaknesses in human nature. So this could be curiosity, jealousy, greed, kindness, or what is most going to happen, the willingness to help someone. And phishing is a subsection of social engineering where you use emails in order to trick someone to reveal personal information, credentials, or execute a malicious code on the computer. So phishing emails usually appear to come from a trusted source, whether it's a person or a business, and they can include content that tries to tempt or trick you into downloading it, opening attachments, or following links to any bogus websites where then more phishing can be done. If you're interested, there's a whole module about phishing on TryHackMe again, which you could check out. So the question now is, does email analysis still matter? And the short answer to it is yes. An extended answer would be that research still shows that phishing attacks are extremely common, and the problem about it is that they are difficult to detect. So part of a penetration test or red team, you still use phishing with emails and email analysis, and that is still important to have because you have multiple tools which can do it for your organization and speed up the whole process. But you should still have a skilled analyst who should review them and conduct manual analysis when there's no budget for an automated solution. And it's a good skill for you to learn even if you're not a security or IT person. So how do we analyze emails? The most important things is you check the header. So who sent you the emails, the from field, who received it, maybe there's a CC or a BCC, when was the email sent, what was the subject of the email. The return path is the reply to option. This could be another email address where if you reply, the email will be sent then. The signatures, so email signatures which are provided by email services in order to identify and authenticate the email. SPF, so if you click on it, you can get the short definition, is the sender policy framework. This shows you the server that was used to send the email and will help you to understand the actual server is used from the email or if it came from a domain. Then the message ID is a unique ID of the email. The MIME version, this will help you if there is non-text content inside. So you can take a quick look at this. MIME is the multipurpose internet mail extension, and this is a standard. So if it's ASCII or attachments or anything else, they all have a MIME standard. And then a few X things, the X headers, the X received, the spam status, and the mailer, which has a client name, the spam score, and these are added to by the mail provider. So now we can ask a few questions for them, for the headers in the for the fields in the email header. First of all, is the to, from, and CC, are they valid addresses? So if you find any red flags inside of that, then it might be bad. If from and to are from the same, then you have the same sender and recipient. This could also be a red flag. From and return path, when they are different, then this could be a red flag. So it seems like someone sends you an email, but if you answer to it, you get relayed to another email address. You can check the server. If they came from an official mail server, does the message ID field exist and is it a valid ID? Again, this could be a red flag. Check hyperlinks without clicking on them to see if they're suspicious or abnormal. And what are the attachments? If you have any suspicious attachments, you can check the file hashes online, for instance on VirusTotal, and they tell you if it is a suspicious file or not. So now they tell us how to check it. So we can open it with Sublime Text. I guess we can do that at the same time. Here, open it, drag it inside. Let's see if it is already. Make that a little bit bigger now because. No. Come on. God. Open it up quickly in full screen on a second window, and it's easier for us to navigate. Okay, good. So we already identified this is a email header file. If not, you can already set it here. We have the subject, we have the from, the date. So we got it from chiefelf@santaclaus.thm, and it's delivered to elfsall@santaclaus. Okay, interesting. ID looks okay, but here is the first red herring. We have murphy.evident@bandit80.thm as the return path. So the return path is different than the sender. So this is already the first red herring. Now let's go through that a little bit more. We open it up, we looked through a few tools, and now there's a tool called Email Analyzer, which helps you to analyze and parse the headers, so you don't have to look through them in the text editor. So we can use this one as well. I'm not going to go through that right now. We're going to use that later on if you want. So at this point, we should know who's the sender and the recipient. Yeah, we know it's Chief Elf at Santa Claus, and the recipient are all elves. The email server control, spam body control, and the attachment control. Are there any attachments? Yes, there are attachments like a doc file, which is pretty long. So yeah, let's now also use the email analyzer. I'm just gonna quickly copy that out. Tag I is the file to analyze. So let's open up a terminal here. here, and then we're gonna switch to full screen again on the other side. So we start with email analyzer with our file desktop, probably. Where are we? From Ubuntu. Desktop. So now we're here. Email analyzer with our file urgent. The email, we want to have the header. We want to show URLs, so tag you. We want it all in HTML. This is a double, sorry. Then provide us with the text and extract. All extracts us the attachments. Okay, so let's look through them again here. Take the window back. In the header is internal, end-to-end encrypted. It was received from mail.senderclass.thm by mail.senderclass.thm. We have an attached file. The return path is a different email address, so we already said this is a red herring, and we have a doc file attached to it. Okay. So let's start with the first part, and then we go over the next with the email reputation. Let's see if we can already answer some questions from that. So what is the email address of the sender? The sender's email address is chief.elf@santaclaus.thm. What is the return address? That's the one right here. So let's copy that one out. That is murphy.evident@banditYeti.thm. On whose behalf was the email sent? It was sent on the behalf of Chief Elf. What is the X spam score? Let's see, XPM spam score is 3. So we can now look at what this actually means. Copy that one out. Score. More than 9 are rejected with bounce back, so it's not that high of a spam scoring. So that's good to know. What is the hidden value of the message ID field? Okay. So let's look through it. We have message ID. But it will probably not be this one, but that looks like a... You could decrypt that probably. So let's start with CyberChef. CyberChef is a cool online tool for you to decrypt. Let's see, let's get that into the input and let's convert it from base 64. Yes. So this looked to me like a base 64 encoded string. So I just tried that out quickly, AOC22 email analysis. So that is the hidden value behind it. If you're not sure, you can also click on the hint and it will probably tell you, yeah, message IDs are usually not base 64. If you also decode the value to understand what is hidden there. So now let's visit the email reputation check website provided in the task. What is the reputation of the sender's email address? Okay, I guess so we go back up and let's start a little bit more with the theory behind it. We can use emailrep.com.io, sorry. I've already opened it up here. So we use, for simple email reputation, we use emailrep.io. You can paste in a email address and it tells you the reputation of it. So let's copy that email address, go to emailrep.io, and let's paste in that email address. And let's see what the result is. Alright, too many requests. Risky. Okay, so this one is suspicious. The domain is valid, but it doesn't have an MX record. The email address is not deliverable and the domain has low reputation. We have not observed this email address on the internet with anything like LinkedIn, Facebook, iCloud. So it might be suspicious. Okay. So can we answer the next question with that? Visit risky, right? Yeah, risky. Now next up, let's check the attachments. What is the file name of the attachment? We saw that somewhere here. Division of labor load share plan. Okay, so let's copy that. What is the hash value of the attachment? So which hash do we want here? Did it tell us anything above? Yeah, we do SHA-265. 56, sorry, SHA-256. I already did a video on hashing, so check that one out. It was a try hack me room with crack the hash, where I went over how a hashing function works. So be sure to check that one out if you want more information on that, because I'm not go over that in detail here. So let's open up a new terminal. We need to go into the email attachments folder. And oops, and there is our file. So now let's get the SHA value of it. 26 sum of division of labor. There we go. This is our hash value. Let's copy that one and again paste it in here. Submit. Good. Next up, we want to visit VirusTotal. This is what I said earlier on. Website to analyze files, to get the reputation of files. So we can go to virustotal.com, and with that we can analyze a file, see if there is a reputation for it online, and you can also search for a hash value there. So let's do that. VirusTotal. Go to virustotal.com. And we want to search for a file hash, so let's paste that in and start searching. Okay, 38 security vendors and 1 sandbox flagged as malicious. As it is that many, I think this is definitely a suspicious file. Fortinet, VBA agent, suspicious, Trojan, something Microsoft Office agent. So I guess there's some scripts in the background. I'm not going to open it up. And now we can search the hash value, click on the behavior tab and analyze the details. Okay, let's click on behavior and let's look at the details. Anything interesting? We have Mitra attack tactics and techniques. We have execution, so scripting, defense evasion with masquerading, it creates files inside a user directory, and discovery, it reads ini files. You can also see which files were dropped. So a readme doc, a design doc, and some other files in roaming. And we have 2 Mitra signatures. So let's see if that already helps us answering the next question. Visit the VirusTotal website to use the hash value to search. What is the second tactic marked in the Mitra attack section? The second tactic is defense evasion. And evasion. And then we need to visit the Inquest website and use the hash value to search in what subcategory of the file. So this is the last thing they set us here. We can go to Inquest to enrich the gathered data. So let's look at this site. I actually haven't used it ever before. So it's the first time I'm looking at the lab from Inquest. I guess we're gonna need our hash again. So let's copy that one. Okay, so we can inspect a file. Do they tell us how we do this? Now visit the tool website and use the indicator lookup option. Okay. Indicators of compromise? No. File inspection. And can we now enter in a keyword here? Does this help us? Let's see if we get a result from it here. So after that, continue on reputation check and inquest to enrich the gathered data. We go lab.inquest.net. Now visit the tool website and use the indicator lookup option to conduct hash-based analysis. Inquest lab IOC lookup. Okay, so we are on the wrong tab here. Let's go to indicator lookup and put in the hash. I didn't see that one up here. Okay, so we have our hash here. Let's go to it. Malicious with 99% confidence. We have a macro hunter. So yeah, we have some macros running in the background. The hash that we had. What do the heuristics say? We have the file inspection. So we have a payload which is building itself up right here and then injecting it somewhere. Okay. We looked at that, and what do we want to know now? What is the subcategory of the file? I already said that it is macro under. And we're done with analyzing it. Cool. So the last part was a little bit confusing. I didn't see the finding at the top to go indicator lookup. But I guess this is a pretty cool website. I'm definitely gonna add it to my repository of websites that I'm using for CTF challenges or hacking challenges in general. You can get a lot of information about it, and it seems like it does also artificial intelligence analysis on it. So it looks like a file name, cool. Tells you the API requests that you could do in order to get the same results. I guess so you could enter that and add it to some software that you're creating for CTF challenges. This might be pretty cool to try out. Okay, and then again it tells us if you want to learn more about email and phishing analysis, then we can check out the whole phishing module of TryHackMe. But that's it for today's Advent of Cyber challenge. Tomorrow we continue with the next challenge, and make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell in order to be notified when this video is released. Other than that, I'm Avocari, and have fun hacking your way through the Advent of Cyber 2022. Take care.